Hi folks, today we're setting up for canning in the great outdoors. So these jars over here have been sitting in storage for quite a while. A lot of these are donations from friends and family and from people in the community, so we've got to get those cleaned first. We don't have hot water on demand out here off grid, so we are boiling our own. As soon as that is hot enough, it's going to go into one of these totes over here. And then we're going to add some cold water and some soap, and we're going to get those cleaned up, a little bleach, just to be on the safe side, and we're going to rinse them off. And then they're going to sit over here to dry while we're getting ready to can. We have 3 pressure canners here. One here, bought secondhand. One under there, bought secondhand. And this nice brand new shiny one here, bought by my own true love, Craig, for my birthday gift.
Yes.
Actually, Craig and the kids. And these are Presto canners. There are also a couple of other brands. Prestos tend to be the less expensive options out there, and they tend to be the ones that you can find used the most often in our area. We bought this along with a bunch of other canning equipment for about $100. A lot of other canning equipment. We bought the smaller one down here for about $20, and I won't even ask Craig what he paid for my gift, because we don't do that.
But you can find it as, we'll probably put a link in the bottom.
We'll put a link for where you can find it down below. And this is a water bath canner. And that's for your jams and jellies. And you can go to a number of different websites to see what you can can in pressure canners versus which ones you can can in a water bath canner. I will make sure that we post the links for those recommended websites down below. Right now we're just going to be showing you our setup and how we prepare to can and get all of our equipment ready for the canning process. Yes, we know there are a number of other websites that do that, but not all of them do it in the great outdoors like this.
Beautiful.
What a beautiful sight. Only thing we have to worry about is rain, but we've got to pop up for that too.
Yep.
All right, so let's see.
Water.
Water, let's check on the water. We're using wide mouth jars. That's much easier for doing meats, especially for doing salmon or fish. We're almost there, yeah. And when you are doing your jars, you want to check for cracks, chips, or any kind of damage. It's much easier to do that as you're cleaning them. And you don't want your temperature to be too hot when you put the jars in, or they will break. So you don't want to put these jars in and then pour hot water over the top of them, especially hot boiling water over the top of them, or they will break. It's cold outside today. These jars are not freezing cold, but they're cool. If we had done this at 5 o'clock in the morning, they would have been freezing cold, and then we could have lost half our jars or more. So I'm going to put a little bit of soap in the bottom of this. I don't usually use bleach around the house, but it's nice to have on the homestead just in case, because a small amount of it, a couple of drops of it in your water in an emergency is useful. That gallon of bleach probably will last us 5-10 years. Yeah. We don't use it often at all, only really in urgent situations. I don't like to even use it for canning. There are other options out there. You can take a look at them. This is what we have on hand. And it's not always necessary with pressure canning, but because I don't know where these jars have been, what has been in them, what they've been doing for however long they've been around, I just want to be on the safe side. So yeah, let's go ahead and pour that in there, and then we'll put some cold water in. This is not bought water. This is water from our well. This is just how we transport it. Everybody's washed dishes. We don't really need to watch this part, do we? Okay. Yeah, men doing dishes. That's sexy. We'll watch it. So there's a nice little arrow right here that matches up with this arrow right here, making it really easy to close them. It's just that simple. Somebody's pulling in. Don't let them get stuck in that mud.
Yeah.
I'm Tony.
Hi, Tony. Come on over.
Yeah.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you in person too. Oh, sorry, we're making a YouTube video right now. Is that,
I'm sorry.
You don't mind being in it, do you?
Hi.
We're getting ready to can some salmon and some goat.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah. Do you want some vegetables from the garden?
Sure.
Yeah, let me take you down there. Hang on. So that was Tony, one of our neighbors, coming up to get some help with some gas. Concow still very heavily affected by the fire. A lot of our neighbors are still living in tents and RVs like us, and some folks are doing really well, and some folks are not. Most of us not. So we help each other out, and some of this canned food here that we're going to be doing is going to go to some of our neighbors. I just walked him down to the garden and offered him some vegetables, and he's going to go over and get some more help from some of our other neighbors. So anyway, back to what we were working on. You might wonder why we have a smoker in the back there. Well, we're doing salmon, and some of it we're not going to smoke before we can, but some of it we are going to smoke. And Craig's from Alaska, so some of it we're going to be doing as salmon candy. So good. His dad's recipe.
Another nice thing about the wide mouth jars, they are so easy to get your hand right into and clean out and scrub out.
That's right. If I had my way, I probably would do all wide mouth jars. Maybe I can trade with somebody. While we are waiting for the last of these jars to be cleaned, why don't you go ahead and comment below about what your favorite thing to can is. Have you ever pressure canned? If so, what do you pressure can? Have you ever canned anything in a water bath? What do you use your water bath canner for? If you haven't, do you have any memories of your favorite things that one of your family members canned when you were a child? Is there something that you'd like to can that you haven't ever canned before? Tell us about it in the comments below. We'd love to hear your responses.
they have the 1 cup and the ounces measurement on this one.
Oh, that's good. Greg just commented that one of the cans there has the 1 cup and the ounces measurement on the side. Different cans have different things on them. Some of them are older cans, some of them are newer cans, some of them are recycled cans. I've seen people can things from jelly jars that they bought at the grocery store, or pasta sauce cans that they bought at the store. Not all jars, glass jars, are created equal. Some can be reused and some can't. I'm not going to tell you which ones because I don't want to be responsible for your disaster when your kitchen blows up. But some are made that way. And we have used some successfully and some not so successfully. The one that he was just commenting on there, was it a care or a ball or a mason?
It was a ball. Yeah, it was a ball.
It was a ball. I have some that are very old and I have some that are very new. Everyone is a little bit different. What is important is that if you are canning quarts, that they're quarts, and if they're pints, they're pints. There are some jars out there that are reproduction jars that are really only made to be pretty and are not meant for actual canning. So you have to be cautious on this. Be careful. Just be careful. That's all I'm saying. Do your research and ensure that the jars that you're using are safe to use in canning. All right, most of the prep work is done. The next thing that needs to be done is that barbecue smoker thing back there needs to get prepared. We need to get the fish out, we need to get the fish prepared, and we need to start smoking. Stick with us, folks, and we'll show you where we are going with this project.
Be sure to like and subscribe.
And don't forget to click that bell so that you can get notifications on other things that we're doing here on our property. We'll see you next time.
Take care.